We're back. How you guys doing?
Just got my DJ red alert on.
Yeah. But I'm your host, DJ D-NAPP.
I'm your co-host, Mike V.
And you're watching the D-NAPP Mixtape Show, episode number 22. We have passed the legal stage, and now we're getting to the grown folk stage.
Yeah.
Today is a special, special day. We got fam in the house.
Every day's a special day on the show.
Yeah, it is. But today is was almost Mission Impossible.
Yes.
We've been trying to get this guy here for a while since the show started.
Fucking Ghost.
But we finally got him in here, my man Ice, aka
I'm gonna start calling him Ice Ghost now.
Ice Ghost.
Ice Ghost.
Ice Ghost. Well, he goes by many names.
He goes by many names.
The mad scientist, Suave Debonair. The big Sasquatch.
So many.
But for those who don't know, he goes by the name. Let me say Cyron. Demean Cyron, that keep getting tongue-tied. Demean Cyron is here to bless this show finally.
Yes, sir.
We're going to chop it up by a couple of things. Like I said, this guy is fam, so this is very special to me. He's really talented, well-respected through pretty much the East Coast as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, man.
You don't mention New England hip-hop without mentioning this guy. With the beats and the rhymes and everything. This guy has a long history and a long ass catalog, and we do not have the time to go through all of it.
No, we do not.
But
I should have brought some of my shit to get signed while he was here. Who knows next time I'm gonna see him?
Well, I mean, like he. Oh, for those who also don't know, he's part of the crew Dirty Dirty
of Dirty Dirty,
and also
Omega Haiku, along with
Uncle Levin and K Vinyl.
Word up.
These guys are great MCs, great individuals that I happen to know personally, and it's only right that I got the man finally in here. But before we get into that, we got a couple of things we want to put out there. For one, for those who's watching the show, make sure you hit that like and subscribe.
Yeah, man.
Keep this show going. We're on episode number 22.
We are officially on YouTube.
Right, and this is our new home.
B Media YouTube channel.
And coming soon, also, you'll see the D-NAPP media, the D-NAPP channel as well.
We're getting there, folks.
Yeah, I'm trying to build that up, but the technical difficulties is getting in the way. But
baby steps. Besides
that, also I would like to give a big shout out to the people in Puerto Rico. They've been having a lot of earthquakes out there. I got family out there. I know a lot of people got family out there, and they've been getting hit regularly.
Yeah, no doubt. Shout out to Otero family. They just went back, I believe.
Oh, yeah?
Yesterday.
They went back?
They went back.
I didn't think there was flights going out that way.
They're supposed to go back, and last time I heard, no power, no nothing like that. So, shout out to the Otero family. Hope everything back home at the homestead is good.
That's right.
Love y'all. Be safe.
That's right. And with that being said, what else is going on in hip-hop today?
Man,
it's a lot of people coming out.
Same old. Sorry, so check this out real quick. I know I haven't had an album to review in a couple of weeks because your man Mike V been lazy as shit. But that's
on vacation.
Yeah, I've been on vacation.
You deserve that.
And once I shut down, I shut down. You ain't finding me. You ain't calling me unless you're the wife or D. So check this out. So real quick, we had them on last week.
That's right.
United Soul Alliance came through last week, tore it down for us. Much appreciated, brothers.
Yes.
If you didn't catch, that show's going to actually air next week. Next Saturday at 5 p.m. United Soul Alliance, you're going to catch that episode next week, but they dropped an album recently with Tiger Moth from Australia.
That's right.
Il Producer. These cats came together, put together a collaborative effort called Monkey Kings. Shit's fire, and y'all need to catch that episode next week, man. It was a great episode. I had a good time with them fellas.
And a great performance, too.
Another gentleman we had here in the early beginnings of the show, Jay Earn is dropping a project. I believe it's out already.
Yes.
If I'm not
actually, no, it's not out yet.
It's not out yet.
No, it's not out yet.
Earn Your Keep?
Yes.
Should be dropping soon.
Very soon.
If y'all fuck with us, Jay Earn was here with
Uncle
Levin. They came through. Did their thing, did an ill freestyle, but Jay Earn is dropping a project real soon called Earn Your Keep.
So go support that.
Right? And we got our man, again, Grem.
Yes.
Is dropped right in type.
Well, he will be right.
He will be dropping right in type, right?
Right now, he's got a single out called Credit Score, which is also dope.
Peep that.
Who did the production for that?
Right in type?
No, the Credit Score.
Credit Score, Sky King.
Oh, Sky King did it. All right. So big up to Sky King. another dope producer I've been trying to get in here for a while.
Mm-hmm.
We almost close. We was close, very close. Twice we were very close.
Twice.
And, both fell through because of communication.
That's all right, though. I appreciate it. You know what I mean? These guys are trying to work with us, trying to come through. And eventually, we will get Sky King here back with Side Law. We're going to talk a little bit more about the Cymatic project and all that.
That's right.
That shit already dropped. Y'all need to cop that, too.
Right.
And Core from EMS dropped an EP with Quiz called Space Heaters.
Yes.
I believe it's about 4-track EP produced by Quiz and Core. So check that out on Own Lane Music. They've been promoting that heavy. Shout out to EMS, shout out to Rev, M. Dot, the whole crew. Core dropped an EP with Quiz called Space Heaters. Y'all need to cop that, find that shit, bump it.
Also, a little side note, M. Dot has put out a video.
A video with
the Method Man.
That's gonna drop.
The life of me. It's already out.
It's already out, but that's probably one of the singles off the Ego and the Enemy 2.
Right.
And we talked to Rev about that shit, and they got some ill production and features on that album. So can't wait.
And these guys are very talented as well. Rev came through a couple of episodes ago and ripped it up with a freestyle as well, and he's got some dope videos you need to check out. And also, he's on Spotify and all the major music streamers.
No doubt. So check it out, man. That's all the local talent we got going on right now. And check this out, man. If you're a local MC, singer, producer, you know how it goes. And we probably say this every single week we come through on the show, man. Y'all need to hit us up. Come through. Hit my man D-NAPP where?
You can either hit me up on any social media, or you can hit me at my email, which is therealdnapp@gmail.com. You can also, hit my man Mike V up.
No doubt. Hit me up on Instagram, MIC_MANSA. Hit us up, man. If you got local talent, you want to represent what you do, you love hip hop, you love the culture, come through to the D-NAPP Mixtape show and come represent.
And we love to support you guys.
Yeah,
so
man.
This is your platform.
It's free promotion, man. Come on through. So check this out. Redman dropped a little 3-joint project.
Yeah, I saw that.
I believe today or last night. Last night he dropped that. An album that I actually missed last episode. I want to talk about 2019. Rusty Jux and Big Bob dropped a collaborative effort called Culturally Rich. You got some features on there like General Steele, Guilty Simpson, Rockness from Helter Skelter. You know who he is, and Big Twins.
Right.
Ty Farris, dope MC from Detroit, Michigan. I've been following him for a little bit. Caught some of his shit online, man. The dude's dope. He's dropping the No Cosign, Just Cocaine 3.
Oh, okay.
The dude's ill. So if you're not too familiar with Ty Farris, dope MC. He's nice. He's got a few projects under his belt. Worked with some producers like Stu Bangers. Stu Banger dropped another dope album called Beats and Blood. On that album, of course, you got Ty Farris, you got Vic Spencer, you got Mr. Liff is on that, self-titled.
I haven't heard from Mr. Liff in a while.
Yeah, man. No, but he's been making music, man.
Nice.
He's definitely been making music.
I gotta go look for him again.
Yeah, I've been seeing it. I downloaded some of them. Can't say I downloaded a lot of shit, so there's a lot of shit I haven't gone through yet. But Mr. Liff is always dropping some shit. He dropped the Perceptionist album.
Okay.
With Acrobatic. I don't know. I'm not gonna say that's his latest project, but I think that project might have dropped like 2 years ago.
Okay.
2 or 3, if I'm not mistaken. But that was a dope album. But Stu Bangers, Beats and Blood, Ty Farris, Vic Spencer, Mr. Liff, self-titled, Blackistan is on there, just to name a few. Go cop this shit on all your favorite streaming platforms, man. This is some dope shit, man. Cats can't say that there's no hip hop out there.
No,
because I mean, as far as I'm concerned, since I've been jumping on the social media and the Spotify and all that shit, I've been following stuff I've been falling in love with, man. There's dope stuff. It's out there, man. Go get it. So real quick, just a real quick review. United Soul Alliance, Tiger Moth, Monkey Kings, Jay Ernie Keep coming soon. Graham Write and Type and Credit Scores a single. Core and Quiz dropped Space Heaters EP. Redman just dropped a new little 3-joint project. Rusty Jux, Big Bob, Culturally Rich. Ty Farris, No Cosign, Just Cocaine 3. And Stu Bangers, Beats and Blood.
Nice. Now also, to put it out there as well, people that the United Soul Alliance has actually a video out for through Monkey Kings called Pressed. Right, which you could also catch on last episode and also on YouTube. Which is a dope video, so go support them as well. Besides that, like you said before, hip hop is definitely alive and well. Which I don't understand why people will still use the phrase "hip hop is dead."
Well, people ain't looking; they're lazy.
That like there's a couple of phrases I think that should be put on the shelf.
Buried.
Yeah, buried. Like culture vulture. Like that.
Culture vulture.
Culture vulture.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like that one.
I don't like that.
I'm gonna keep that one.
You know why? Because
I'm keeping that one in the back pocket.
But you know why though? Because people actually use that in the wrong. I think in the wrong. Like everything is culture vulture. If you're not black, you're culture vulture. If you're not,
yeah.
You know what I mean? They just use it for every.
Yeah, if you're not of the melanated,
right, and that's just aggravating because then you got people that have nothing to do with hip hop using that phrase, and then you know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Just I don't know, just my little quick rant about
bury it, put it on the shelf.
You know what I mean?
Culture vultures.
Another one is Bay. I think Bay should be throw on the shelf. You know what I I think if you pass a certain age limit, I think your vocabulary should be
using Bay.
Yeah, you shouldn't be using Bay, and like it goes up there with like word. Come on, son. Word. Come on. Word. Yeah, exactly.
Say word.
Can you do me a favor? Can you just do the podcast and stop looking at me? I don't have no girl, so you don't have to worry about me saying that. Okay.
Well. But out there was a rapper. Who's the dude that did I'm Love with Coco? That I'm in love.
Oh.
Yeah.
He
did a song. Track. I look like Bay. You hear that shit?
What was that?
That's the name of the song. I look like Bay. Like that, but as OT Genesis came out with a song.
Oh no, I thought you were talking about the one where he's playing the piano.
Can we talk about
that shit? That shit was pretty funny though.
He did a song remaking it was a Keisha Cole's track. Remember that? Remember we saw him singing OT Genesis? And I forgot what song he was singing, but he was dead serious.
Was he at the piano?
No.
Okay. Because I was gonna say because like if you haven't seen it, you've heard the song before. It's just he remixed it, and actually that shit's pretty funny.
It is funny, but this one song he was doing, he was dead ass serious. He was trying to harmonize and just going absolutely crazy. But I mean,
brothers trying to stay relevant.
Well, I mean, he does it. He don't have to do that shit though. I mean, he's down with busting rhymes, and he
ain't got to do that shit. Huh? But he does have to do that shit.
I got Mr. Fact Checker over there. Thank you. That's our
fact checker, Big Al.
Over here looking at me while you.
We can actually hear you. We're not looking at you.
Right? I was trying to whisper.
Yeah. You're not very good at whispering. I'll tell you.
I got to talk to Google. I got a voice.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
But besides, I mean, like we were saying before, hip hop is definitely alive and well, and there's room for everybody. Whether you do trap or conscious rap, there's a lane for everyone.
No doubt, and I feel like the streaming platforms are, you know what I mean? Such a big help nowadays.
Right. But and it makes it easier for everyone.
It does because you're cutting out the middleman. But man, check it out. If y'all love hip hop, it's out there. Y'all just need to look for these cats, man.
Right. And the people we have on the show too, like I try to keep very talented people on the show, and a lot of people that's still doing their thing, and just some people just starting off that really have the passion for it. So this is definitely a platform. So remind everybody, if you're trying to get on the show, you try to show off your talent, whether you want to perform, display your music, you have a show coming up or whatever. Hit me up. You can hit me up on either my email, which is therealdnap@gmail.com. Or you can hit me up on every social media platforms. I try to stay up all of them, and try to stay busy as well, because a lot of people do actually hit me up with different ideas and different artists that they think that should be on the show. So that's actually been going pretty well, and I love the response, and I thank everybody. But if you have any more people that you think that should be on the show, or if that's you yourself, you could comment right down on this episode. I'm willing to hear everybody, and like I said, I'm a student first and a fan second, and with every song that people put out, I definitely like to give a hear or two, because everyone has something to say. Besides, the clowns that put the bullshit that I don't want to hear, but that's for another episode. So Anything else?
So that's it. That's all I got for albums real quick.
Okay.
You know what I mean? We got Dirty Ice coming up. We're going to show one of his videos real soon.
Right. But before we get in, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to get some of his older joints. Actually, not that far old. It was off his last Dirty Dirty album, right? Last Dirty Dirty. Golden Soul Comrade. Yeah. Also, that was totally produced by Sky King, which, like I said, we had tried to get on this show. Who also produced Cymatic with Cy Law, who was on here not too long ago. So big up to him. So we're gonna get into that, which is called Battle Cry. This is with Dirty Dirty, featuring my man Dirty Ice, aka Demi Cyron. We'll be right back.
Bodega battleground, graffiti's painted, head spinning, drilling the ground until I fainted. Suede Puma theme, high supreme breaker, floor rock general, fly routine maker, cardboard board, footwork is golden, nameplate shines, just wait for the explosion. Windmill fills the air with no breeze, but one-footed flares kills them overseas. Freeze like a gust of wind is on the floor, pulls like my body is frozen to the core. War on the pavement sparked the generation, skywalk studied the art of levitation. Done by the forces of nature, tornado backspin, shredding up an acre, earthquake the ground and pound the epicenter. Fantastic finishing move from the inventor. When I do my backspin, incredible. When I do my backspin, y'all be showing people how you down with breaking, and that's bullshit. Because you ain't down with nothing. B-girls and boys, poppers, boogalooers, innovators of these mysterious maneuvers are repeatedly intriguing with their level of tenacity, pushing the body's limit, nearly defying gravity, fusing martial arts and gymnastics into a dance style which is aerodynamic. Watch as the rhythm hits them, see how they cautiously stay on beat, landing moves flawlessly. I see this kid jump in a cypher with a head slide, did a couple air flares counterclockwise, then froze on his wrist with his legs in a pretzel. Don't try this at home, these are trained professionals, floor lords, Project 401, newbie all-stars, all the daughters and sons, keeping the dance alive from New England and above that. I love breaking more than I love rap. Real talk. Set it off with the stylish top rock, freakazoid steps with the splash of pop lock, then blast off like the dance floors, the launch pad, strong move dialogue, b-boy combat, footwork blackout, freeze with the finger point, marathon stamina, lighten up the whole joint, crazy with the catalog, technique excellence, no biting allowed, certified venomous, bunny hop elbows, mixed with scissor kicks, 360 criticals, ridiculous, dream team routine, slick choreography, all-star attitude, go hard philosophy, bonafide backspin, smooth transition, one-handed halo, perfectly positioned. Throw your momentum in the end, let it glide. Front flip with a twist, finish with a suicide. Let's go, 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 go. Let's go.
And we're back, folks. That was Dirty Dirty off the Golden Soul Comrade album, Battle Cry. And we have the man of the hour. Is that's that right? That you looked at me. That's that wrong?
Yeah, I'm just bugging.
Okay.
I wanna flip through these records, but
no doubt.
I'm focused on the task at hand. So yeah, Golden Soul Comrade.
That's right.
The song is called Battle Cry, produced by Sky King, who's also featured in the record, and it was shot by a gentleman named Chris Hunter.
This is a dope video, by the way.
Collective Thought Media. Thank you very much.
And thank you for coming through, finally.
Thank you for having me. I really been trying to get here for a long time.
Yeah, I know. And also, so many things to talk about now, because I mean, between the past and the future and what holds before you. Let's just start from the beginning. You want to let everybody know who you are?
My name is Demi Cyron. I don't know, man. That's who I am. So, that's who I am.
How long you been doing it to me?
I think the tally is somewhere in the ballpark of 25 years.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Which this year has been very, sobering, eye-opening to really still be around this culture after that amount of time. To be in places where people are still like freestyling and the same things I can see happening now were happening 25 years ago. A little bit different format, a little bit different scene, a little bit different energy, but it's really the same, exact same thing. So when I'm around it now, it's very nostalgic to me. The fact that I've been blessed with the opportunity to continue to see this culture thrive, and some of the nuances never really change. It's really cool to watch. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's the best way I can explain it. It's like there's certain people that I'm watching perform that probably could be my children. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's pretty wild to
man.
me. And I feel very fortunate to have maintained some level of relevance and credibility for such a long period of time. It's very rare. And at this age, I really come to appreciate how rare it is. 25 years. Started UMass Amherst with 10 Blessed, piece of 10 Blessed, and DJ Walt G, piece of DJ Walt G. So we had a group called Busted Fro that we started at UMass Amherst. Those brothers happen to be from New Bedford, Mass. So sort of when our college duties have been fulfilled, there was no other thing to do but to move to New Bedford. That's where these brothers were going, and that's where I went.
Nice. Now, when you mentioned Busted Fro. Now, meaning that I've known you for so long, I've watched the transition from Busted Fro was just you, 10 Blessed, then you and 10 Blessed, then Empress.
Yep.
And then going solo, and then going Dirty.
Yep.
Now, as far as the transition, as far as music wise, how do you say you enjoy it more, or you think it's more work? Because we talked about earlier about you retiring soon, which no one, including myself, is not trying to let you retire. But you mentioned like as far as that. But what changed? What changed between then and now? As far as
that's one of the things that I think is really peculiar. Not much for me. Some might say that I'm a better writer now. I think it's just I choose different subject matter.
Right.
So I'm wildly from my personal perspective. I'm a wildly consistent artist in that I've never really been titillated by the idea of changing with the times to fit in or be relevant or to stay hot or what have you. So I don't know what that means about what I do. Sometimes, even in this day and age, I start to wonder if I sound old. And to some people, I probably do. But I still think there's a wide array of people that I don't. I just sound like a talented writer. Right. So I think, to answer your question, I don't think I've really changed much. I still like similar type of beats. I don't want to say write in a similar fashion, but, again, I just haven't updated or adapted my style to appease the style of the times. It's just never been what I was going to do. What I'm gonna do. It's just never been that. You know what I'm saying? So it's in a weird way. I don't think I've changed much. I really don't. Some might say that's a bad thing, but I'm a fan of the idea that there's all kind of dangerous sort of people, but the one I fear the most is, as they say, a person has practiced one punch 10,000 times, as opposed to 10,000 punches once. And I like to think I'm on the side of practicing one punch 10,000 times. That's to answer your question. I don't think I've changed much. Try to be as consistent.
So, in the 25 years since you've been doing this, you've also produced a lot.
I have.
For Busted Fro, for some of the early Dirty
a
Work.
lot of local cats too, as well.
Local cats and your solo projects.
I did, yes.
So what's the process like? I mean, do you enjoy the writing aspect better, the producing aspect better, or is this something that Demeen just puts together and he's always done?
I always enjoyed making beats more. I think I was a beat maker first. You go back to Buster Fro. I remember when it was time for us to sort of purchase our first keyboard. As intimidated as I was by the process, it was a Kurzweil K2000, as a matter of fact. Beautiful, beautiful board, by the way. But I was just always more intrigued by learning how to make the buttons, make music. And so I think that is what sort of guides me into the rhyme. By that I mean when people didn't really love my beats like that, my attitude was I'm just gonna rhyme on them and make them come alive. Then people started recognizing me as an artist. I was a writer, and my beats sort of fell underneath the radar. But that wasn't really important to me. The idea was that the music was getting out one way or another.
Right.
So the two things kind of grew hand in hand. I use the writing to catapult the popularity of my beats, and I use my beats as the foundation for when I absolutely need to get something off. I don't really have to go very far. You know, I love working with other producers. I think I've worked with both of you on individual levels. That's probably my favorite thing to do when it's all said and done, is to get a beat that I love, somebody else made, and just write to it. But out of necessity and a desire not to have to scratch too many walls and pound too many doors, it works for me that I can do both.
Nice.
So how is it that you just seem to, like a jigsaw puzzle, like you fit into the spot no matter who you're working with at the time, or maybe it's heavy collaborators or collaborators that, you know what I mean, every once in a blue moon. How does Demeen work so well with the cats that you're around and that you're influenced by? And
thank you first and foremost.
because I'm saying this for like 25 years of watching you and Tem do it and Grem do it and Seven had to do it, and it seems like you're just so, to me it just feels like it's just so natural to you sometimes. Am I is it a misconception?
I don't know if it's unnatural. I'll say that. Is it natural? No, but I've been doing this so long that I know how to work. So then I have certain philosophies when it comes to creativity. One of them that I like to think of when I'm writing a rhyme is to stay on task. So if I go to you and you have a concept and you tell me that concept, we all on board, then I just try to make sure my verse doesn't stray from the concept. And I think a lot of people have a tendency to naturally do that. Hip hop sort of allows for that. Being an MC sort of allows for that. But I almost treat it like college writing. Like if you ask me to do an essay, I'm gonna do an outline, you know what I mean? The opening paragraph and then supporting paragraphs to complete an idea. And so I treat my rhymes that way, whether it be an 8 or 16 or whatever. I'm trying to just stay locked into exactly what I'm trying to convey to you. How does that translate to me being able to work with all kind of people? Well, I think I'm comfortable jumping vibes, right? So it's more about being able to get the job done. That's what I really think it comes down to. Is, you know, when somebody, so if you hire somebody to fix your stairs, and they start painting your house, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's cool, but you might not, might not be a painter.
Yeah.
If you call me in to do a song about how we're gonna go to the club and meet girls, then I'm gonna write the best verse that's conveying that idea that I can, and I'm gonna stay on task. And I think that's what I'm good at. I just think I'm good at being able to sort of, like you said with the puzzle piece, just lock it in. And that translates, generally speaking. You know what I'm saying? That gives things longevity, and it gives things continuity and integrity. And that's what I think is, if I get hired for a job, or if I volunteer for a job, then I'm really good at staying on task.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
Now, one of the questions I have is, I mean, I don't know if you heard me earlier, but I mean, as humble as you are, you do realize that people don't bring up New England hip hop without bringing your name.
Okay.
and it's true, because I mean, I've been on shows with you, you and Grem, and I mean, we've been as far as New Hampshire and been in other places where, you know, they knew automatically who you were before any of us.
Again, it's 25 years of having been to New Hampshire several times. I've been to Maine several times, and, you know, been to parts of Connecticut several times, and, you know, done this sort of New England gauntlet. I like to think that there's few credible stages. As I say, credible stages. There's 1,000,001 stages in New England, but the credible stages with a good sound system and a sound man and a decent space. There's few of them that I haven't performed in. I'm proud to say that's cool.
Like you, like what?
Still want to?
Yeah.
I think Boston is an untapped market for us. Like the city of Boston is a place that I haven't really either worked terribly hard to get into or been consistently a part of. So I'm sure that there's plenty of stages. Like one legendary that I can name is the Middle East Downstairs. Like, and I have been on that stage, but usually it's as a guest,
right? As
you said, right? A featured artist from somebody that's performing there, and they want to do the song that I'm on with them. So I get to bounce up there. But I've never headlined on the Middle East. And there's tons, but I named that one to say that's one that's sort of on my list that I really, really would like to get after before I die at some point.
I hear you. Now, also, I mean, break down a little catalog, the major catalog that you've been through, and I'm gonna jump into the first Dirty Dirty album.
Okay.
It's kind of where I believe I started working with you guys as far as promoting and doing performing and stuff like that. Explain to the people how that started with you and Grem.
So I was in Arizona. I was going to an audio engineering school, and you know, I was in transition. That's the first thing. So I was going to engineering school so that I can come back to this region and sort of just know the language of engineering better, know the language of recording music better than I did, because I did have my own little studio prior to that. So I wanted to learn more about that. And essentially, I really didn't want to go live back in New Bedford. I didn't want to live in Fall River.
Neither do I.
No diss to any one of those spaces.
No,
but I had already lived in both of those spaces.
Right.
And Providence had, throughout the history of Busted Fro, always shown us love.
Right.
Being transplants from New Bedford at the time, we were able to go to Providence and sort of build a small base. And Providence was always very welcoming for us. And I felt like it was the best option for me. Well, Graham already happened to live in Providence at the time. And I was looking to start a new project, a new venture. And Graham, historically, two things. He was a very young kid when we started working. I'll tell you a story about Graham. So I used to sell beats. These kids would come through and buy beats. I had an appointment with Graham. A snowstorm came. He lived on the other side of the city. I don't know how many miles that is. I live in the north end, and he lived in the south end. If you know New Bedford, that's like two different ends of the city.
Right.
It was a snowstorm. Like, cars weren't moving. And for those who don't know, if you're an artist, like, a snowstorm is like a wet dream. If you live by yourself and you got a little reefer, you got some food in the crib.
Right.
A snowstorm is like everything. Is you don't gotta go nowhere, and you could just bang out all day in your pajamas or whatever. So we had an appointment. It was a snowstorm, and I don't know. It was like 2.5 feet of snow. There was a lot of snow, and Graham walked to my crib
Damn.
to keep that.
For real?
I don't know. That's dedication.
Done everything. Shit. Like he walked.
But that
blew me away.
Yeah.
So that was the first thing. Is like, oh, snap.
That's definitely something he would do.
This young boy like walked to me to keep his appointment so that he could purchase these beats. And then the second thing, if you know anything about Graham, you know that he's a well, let me say about the beats. He would also who was an artist that was able to make some of my toughest beats come alive. Like he would take the challenges, things that I was like, yo, nobody could. Not only would they not touch it, but they don't really know how to handle it right. If they do,
right.
And he would take those beats and make songs out of it. So that was impressive to me. And then the second thing is, if you know anything about Graham, like, you know, he's a gremlin on stage.
Yeah,
like,
he is. He's a beast.
He's really, what he does on stage can't be taught. He's a natural. And coming from a group that, you know, took pride in our stage performance, I wanted to make sure I brought somebody along with me that could, you know, pick up where I sort of left off.
Right.
And Graham not only picked up, but he sort of took the lead with that. So those are the two reasons why I ended up deciding to call him. And as things go, I am who I am, and he was more than flattered by the opportunity. So when I moved back from at the time, I went from Arizona to California. When I moved back from California, and you know, it was pretty much already on the books that we were going to begin this new venture. Where the name came from, Dirty Dirty, he had a persona called Dirty Furby.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And I had a persona called Dirty Ice. So it was Dirty Dirty, you know, the dirty uncle and the dirty nephew, so to speak. Coming out with music, and we really just wanted to reinvent ourselves. So that first record was a single, or it was an EP, had Hot Garbage on it, right? Who's Broker was the main single. Two songs I really dig, but we really just want to shake it up. And you know what else too is, if you know anything about us prior to that, most of everything we were doing was conscious music.
Right.
Prior to that. And the process of reinvention for me involves creating something else so that people can't pigeonhole you into thinking you only do this. So we literally came out with Hot Garbage and Who's Broker, just to sort of break the mold. Like, yo, this isn't gonna be what you're used to hearing from me anyway. And Graham too was sort of in that groove with the Third Eyes and sort of community events. We were community activists first, still are, but we wanted to make the priority for me was making music that was targeted towards adults. So I had to sort of break the chains. You know, it's kind of like when Hannah Montana became Miley Cyrus. You know what I'm saying? There's a definitive break that she had to make.
Right.
Now you don't hear about Hannah Montana ever anymore.
Right.
It wasn't even a thing. Now it's always been Miley Cyrus, no matter what she do. So we sort of operated it in a weird way, just like that, where we had to break the mold sort of drastically. What else was on there? Fatty Cakes?
Yeah, Fatty Cakes.
Yeah, Fatty Cakes was on there. So we wanted to do things that was gonna pull us out of that pigeonhole.
Now, speaking of that album, and since I know you guys for so long, I got a two-part question. The first part question is, between you and Grimm, I believe is like totally different artists.
Yep.
Completely.
Yep.
And for the fact that you guys had pretty much made it your guys' career as no swearing.
Yeah.
Okay, I kind of stick to a strict code when it comes to making albums.
Yeah.
So my questions are pretty much why you decided to do that, and why. How does it work between the two of you as being so different, but y'all guys seem like y'all been around each other for pretty much your whole lives?
So the first thing is the no swearing thing. It was really for two reasons. One, the name of our group is Dirty Dirty. So I like this idea, the contrast of people thinking that they're going to put in the record and hear dirty things and not really hear anything terribly dirty. You hear things that are sort of graphic, sort of adult content, sort of cutting edge when it comes to again content, but there's no swears. There's nothing really crude or violent or overly sort of sexualized or anything like that. There's no misogynistic nuances. We're not getting head in the Jeep. Stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I don't know, something I liked about that. And also, I'll be honest, it was the real goal was so that we didn't have to make two versions for the radio.
Right.
So no matter when I gave a DJ a record, they all asked the same thing for mad years. They still do. Is there no swears? Well, we don't swear. I like the fact that most people wouldn't even realize that. They listen to it.
And they don't really.
They've heard the song
don't.
100 times, you know what I mean? And they still ask me if they can get a clean version. I'm like, there's not a swear in it. I know we're saying some lewd things, but there's not a swear in it, period. So that's what it really started, was just making sure that it was easier for us to be able to get spin on the radio.
Right.
It wasn't a hassle for me to say, nah, go ahead, play it. Doesn't have any swears. What was the second part of the question?
How did you guys make it work with being so different?
I don't know. Sometimes we still struggle with that.
Yeah.
It's like Mike P said, it's something about a chemistry. I'd be fool to say that Wu-Tang Clan didn't influence a lot of people in terms of being able to put different things together and make it work.
Right.
After Wu, it wasn't a barrier anymore if you didn't rhyme like me. We just had to figure out how to lock it in so that it sounds decent. You know what I mean? And so that being said, Graham and I are probably closer than most people would think in terms of style nuances. Obviously, maybe that's not obvious. I have a tendency to be the picky dude. I'm not gonna say.
I've heard.
I'm not gonna say that's not true. You know what I'm saying? I do. I have a tendency to be the picky one, and I try to bend when brothers ask me to from time to time. So I really don't know. I think there's magic, and like Uncle Evan is part of our unit right now.
That's
and
right.
His style is even different.
Than both of you. Yeah, exactly.
And I've been saying this for past few weeks at least. Right now, in my personal opinion, we have something electric when it comes on stage. I don't know what the science is. I just know that I felt electricity with all of my groups and all of my ventures, from Busted Pro to Dirty Dirty. But now this thing right here is the most electricity I've ever felt. I don't know why it works.
But you can see it on stage though.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes. Because for me, my first time seeing all three of you on stage together was a couple of weeks ago in Newport, and just I've seen you guys rehearse in D-Nap's house.
Yep.
But to have you three on stage, and literally, it's like when you guys
natural.
are moving, it's natural.
It's natural.
Like y'all know where y'all need to be.
Right.
Standing this or that, or it's.
To credit Uncle Evan, he caught up quick.
Yeah.
He caught up to, like I said, Grem's the best on stage, or one of the best on stage I've ever seen. And I'm no slouch just by way of being able to carry myself in that environment or on that platform. And Uncle Evan caught up, quick as a flash, superseded my expectations in terms of having to catch up with, between Graham and I, that's 35, 40 years of stage experience that he had to catch up to.
Right.
So I don't know what it is. I don't know what the magic is. Like I said, we all have very different styles, but you put three of us in a room with the right material, and I don't think there's anyone we can't entertain. From a group of freaking old dogs to to a nursery school to, for real, old folks that are elderly home. Like, I don't think there's anybody that won't stop. It's kind of like when you're walking by a live band in a park and they're good.
Right.
You might not listen to bluegrass,
but you recognize.
but these dudes is playing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, oh snap, they got talent. Like these kids is nice, regardless of what they're saying or how many dirty feet people are dancing to it. You feel that they got talent, and I think people, when they see us, they sense that.
Right.
We sort of stick out right now. So I'm grateful once again after 25 years to have reached another plateau of reinvention with these brothers. It's unbelievable to me, actually. And it's a wild blessing. Like, it really is.
Dope.
Now, speaking of the reinvention, I'll jump a little forward. You mentioned Uncle Evan. Why the blue collar? Why, like, what? How did that come along?
Blue. We needed a way to tie us together. Initially, it was Dirty Dirty, and then Uncle Evan was always family. Mm-hmm. We had hosted some battles called the Culture Games. Lord Gremity or Gremlin, this is his baby, the Culture Games. Right. So we had some battles. Ev ended up entering one of the battles. I'm in the audience, and I'm like, yo, the kid is nice. I don't know, he never really wore it on his sleeve like that.
Right.
But he was in a battle, and he handled himself. He didn't win the battle, but I was thoroughly impressed by, the way he handled himself in the battle, and that's pretty much all she wrote. And then at that point in time, I had to devise, what's the best way to incorporate him into the fold? And he initially expressed interest in sort of being part of Dirty Dirty, and I couldn't necessarily, after losing sleep overnight, like I couldn't see how to put that together. But what I did see was that him and a gentleman named K Vinyl.
Big up to K Vinyl. Yep.
K. They had a certain chemistry on K's beats. A certain, and I told them straight up, it sounded like Worcester to me. It sounded like, it sounded like Worcester, if you ever been to Worcester. And, you know what I mean? Like, it sounded like something that would go hard in the streets of Worcester. And I thought that there was a huge market for that. Brothers got mad at me, but it was almost like a Juggalo market. If you listen to Uncle Evan's first album, Field of Dreams, Deferred, it's produced in part by K Vinyl, but that group, Evan's Vinyl Collection, they have a sound. It's a very sort of garage hip hop sound that I thought was compelling. So I made the suggestion, why don't you guys be a group and we can be a unit? And I feel like, that's how you strengthen units, by having sort of strong pieces that connect. And I feel like they could be a strong piece. And, truth is told, and the story has been written that they have sort of created a niche in a very short period of time. Very proud of those brothers for rising
and that
to
album
the
was
occasion.
dope.
Yeah, it's a great album.
Right.
It's very well put together. The whole project, I'm very happy with Evan's Vinyl Collection, Uncle Evan and K Vinyl, and what they've been able to accomplish, pretty much from 0 to 100 miles an hour in a short period of time. It's really incredible to watch. And so that's how that started. And then we had to figure out how we tie everything in. And we came up with the mantra blue collar, sort of family work and music, because that's what we about. Brothers is old, let's be honest. We're not kids. Right. We wanted our content to reflect sort of the lifestyles that we live. And brothers is going to work and coming home and trying to make music in their free time, and in the meantime taking care of our families and our children. These are our priorities. And so to keep it true to self and true to each other, we decided, why don't we just make it blue? Brothers could rap about anything, but where the connectivity lies is in the reality of our stories.
Right.
And you could see in some of our first songs, like Ev's, one of his biggest singles was Little Man.
Right.
It's about a relationship that he has with his son. And one of my first single was You're Not Alone, which is a personal experience that I went through that I wanted to share with the world. So that's what Blue is about, really, blue collar. And then the umbrella is Omega Haiku, which hopefully, there's room for other entities, Mike V and D NAPP and brothers that are down with the philosophies of Omega High. So that's sort of the future. But right now it's Blue and Omega, Dirty Dirty, and Evan's Vinyl Collection.
So what's up next for Blue Collar? Because I know like right now y'all dropping some singles, you're dropping solo projects.
So we're working on an album that sort of will be, the goal is to have that out at some point in time this year. The record is pre-produced. We have a few songs already in motion. Some produced by me, some produced by Kay, some produced by a brother named Helder. So big up to Rhode Island Rec Kids. And yeah, we working on a collective project,
No doubt.
as we speak.
Now, you brought up your album, which is I've been waiting forever.
Yeah.
But can you explain, like, all right, now I noticed for the tracks I've heard so far, you get pretty personal.
Yeah. Blue.
And you're not really that type of person to be.
Yeah.
You're very timid and you keep to yourself and you're very humble. Why the change? And
I think that's a really good question. Why the change?
Because you never really gone
yeah,
there.
I think I felt as if it was time for me to be more personal. I think it's the one thing I hadn't done yet in my sort of 20. You know, I've dropped hints. I drop here and there, but it's always been a very cryptic. Like, I'm an MC. Let me encode these things into my rhymes, and for you to really catch wind of it. You got to break down what I'm trying to say here.
Right.
And now this is a little bit more straightforward. I don't know. It's just, you know, life is short, man. And I've realized I have certain things to say. Speaking of the album, it's called Elevator Pitches.
That's right.
And it's about 11, 12 joints, I believe. But the reason why it's still in limbo is because it is sort of personal.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? It's almost like, I shudder to say this, but it's almost like a sad rap album. Listen, I really didn't.
Don't doubt.
I didn't really want to put out a sad rap album. That wasn't my goal. But to understand how this record came together, it probably make more sense. So I went to Florida and recorded it with a brother named Beatnik, Nick Valois. Piece is Still Looking Pro. And he had wanted me to do some of his music for a while. I couldn't really get to it. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go down to Jacksonville. I'm going to spend, 7-8 days down there. And we just record the whole thing.
So 7-8 days you recorded
the whole thing. And I wrote the whole thing, picked all the beats. Everything happened in that period of time. So I went down there to do that. And that's ultimately what came out. Just sort of these sad raps. I don't know why. I really don't know why.
Well, I gotta say though, like, You're Not Alone.
Yeah.
Hit a lot of people. Caught a lot of people off guard. First of all.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people didn't know.
Yeah.
Which again, like I said, you're a very private person.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, you just came out with this and kind of threw a lot of people for a loop. Like,
it's crazy because that's exactly why I felt as if I needed to do it. So give you a background of that, and you can go to my website, cyron.com, and see the write-up for the record in greater detail. But so we've encroached a time where substance abuse runs rampant in the culture.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of brothers is dying, rappers, and the tone, at least in terms of my feed, if you will, my network was. People were saying one or two things about these people that were dying or suffering from addiction. They saying, you made a bad choice, you gotta live by it. Basically, it's your fault. You suck.
You made your bed sleeping.
Right, you made your bed, sleep in it. That's the one thing. And then the other thing brothers say all the time is, we never used to do the drugs, we used to sell them. Right? That happens a lot with people.
I heard that before. That's new. Yep.
Yeah, everybody says, I don't know what's going on with these kids. And me personally, I felt like that was a lie. Even if you was the one selling the drugs, your whole hood wasn't selling drugs. Yo.
Right.
You was selling drugs to your whole hood. Those other people that were using the drugs look like you for the most part. Yeah, you get some people that come from out of town and drive to your hood and you serve them. You got a couple out of town connects that might not look like you.
Right.
But for the most part, we've all heard the stories of my dad and my mom and my uncle and my aunt, where those people smoking that rock, those people booting that heroin, those people sniffing that cocaine. So I just felt like the narrative's being twisted and it wasn't realistic. That's the first thing. The second thing, I I realize how much people don't really know about substance abuse. It's a lot of, old wives' tales and urban legends. And that's why I did the song and the video the way I did it.
Right.
So you can get a real look at what it's like.
That's a real video.
It's
That was a real.
Studio 54, chicks with their tops off.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, glamorous.
Yeah, it's not all glamour and glitz when it comes to substance abuse. And also, exactly the fact that nobody knew that about me is the reason why I did it. Is I want people to look at me and use me as an example and say, like, you never know who you're dealing with. You can assume somebody been on the straight and narrow all their life.
Right.
Don't know hence from where they came from. And I wanted to share that with people in a weird way to be like, well, now you got to judge me now. Right? Mr. Whatever, 25 years, Mr. Clean Cut, Mr., keeps his nose out of the dirt. No pun intended. But then you find out my nose was in the dirt.
Yeah. And
that hopefully helps you think differently about somebody whose nose is in the dirt now.
Right.
That everybody sort of, everybody's not gonna make it. I'm not gonna lie to you, but that everybody is not destined to be some crackhead that's gonna steal from your baby's piggy bank and end up in jail. When I worked in the substance abuse field, when I say that, I spent the time in a needle exchange. And I'll tell you that everybody came in there from people with no teeth. They smell like 6-day-old chicken soup. You know what I'm saying? To, people with briefcases and 3-piece suits. You understand? And I think a lot of people don't understand the wide variety of substance abuse. You know how we're learning now? The weed game popped open. You go to the dispensary, I'm sure there's a lot of people that thought what they were going to see when they got there is not what they saw. You go in there, you see 60-year-old white men, you see everybody.
Grandmothers, teachers.
Yeah. Teachers, your gym
Doctors,
teacher, right?
Yeah.
Your deacon is in there.
Buying the eighth.
Real talk. Getting some gummies.
I need this shit for Sunday.
All of that.
Let me get 3 grams.
I really think that on the low, like a lot of people don't understand, that substance abuse sort of transcends all cultures. And within every pocket, there's people that are either sneaking it or doing it in front of your face. And it doesn't mean that they're destined for failure. Right.
No.
That's all I'm trying to say is let's stop judging people that are having a bad way a couple years in their life. And I'm not saying like throw drugs at their face and party with them. I'm just saying don't count them out. Right. Don't count them out. If you count them out, you got to count me out. And to my surprise, nobody has. The response has been quite favorable. For people that are abusing substances, being like, thank you for being a voice for me, to people that didn't know, but now they have a clearer picture. And I hope that affects how they treat people that are in trouble right now. That's the ultimate goal for releasing a single and a record and making it personal like that. Right. Is to let it go, too. Is to get it off and not have to worry about somebody having to hold that over my head. Like I put it loud and clear.
You definitely did.
Right on the TV screen. You know what I'm saying?
So we had an opportunity to talk to Tim Bless a couple of weeks ago.
Yep.
A couple of weeks ago, like 2 or 3 months ago. Something like that. 2 months ago. Yeah. 2 months ago. 2 months ago. And my man was still vibing off the Eric B show.
No, you mean the Rakim show?
Oh, I'm sorry, Eric B.
Eric
B. and Rakim show.
Yeah.
So he had mentioned there might be maybe some brand new Busta Flow material. Not now, but maybe in the future.
I never say no to anything that is efficient and effective. You know what I'm saying? Right now, we'll just say that there's nothing finite.
Okay, yep.
But anything is possible, bro. Anything is possible. I to be honest, I'd be happy with just like a performance. Like I really enjoyed performing with Tam.
But I mean, in some shape or form.
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. Like I said, there's nothing finite, nothing set in stone. anything is possible in my world.
I'll take that.
Now, just back up a little bit. We were talking about being personal. Now, the name change. Why the name change? Because you've been known for many things.
Yeah, real talk. I think it comes down to, once again, reinvention. And it's not that I intentionally go out of my way to reinvent myself. It's just I'm an artist, and I don't want to say I get bored with certain things, but I think one of my core philosophies is not being pigeonholed. That's one of my things is like, if I'm going to be an artist, I was an art major at UMass, and one of the things that I disliked about it is sort of the regimen. Even though I just didn't understand it then, I do understand it now. I'm practicing the same thing over and over and over and over again, but for me, like, I just like to reinvent myself. Demin Sairon is my real name, and it's sort of, this is my way of coming out to the world and saying this is really me, which is again why I really had to start with that single. I didn't want to start with all these other things, and then it comes out. See, in this society, media can ruin you quickly. You got to take a hold of your dirt and figure out how to essentially market it before they get to it. Then they have no power over you.
Right.
So I figure I'm gonna drop this bomb first, no matter what I do after this. Now, you really can't touch me. You really can't. You know what I mean? I gave you everything. So it's sort of like the 8 Mile and Eminem thing. You know what I mean? When you're self sort of degrading, there's really, people can't hold things over your head, and I prefer to live like that. I don't even know if I answered the question.
Yeah.
What was it though?
Why the name change?
Oh yeah. So yeah, Demin Sairon, I think is just, I just wanted to be this music is more sort of my interpersonal sort of thoughts and ideas and philosophies, and I wanted the name to sort of coincide with that. As a matter of fact, on the record there's a song that actually tells people where I'm from, because I've been saying this as part of my whole campaign. Like, nobody knows where I'm from. You don't know where I'm from. You don't know where I went to high school.
I know where I met you. That's about it.
I understand that.
Albany, right?
That's a great guess.
Close.
Very close. Very close. It's actually Schenectady.
I've been in the shadows for a minute.
Yeah, it's true. Schenectady, New York, though. So there's a song on the record dedicated to Schenectady. But it's still not. Schenectady is not where I went to high school.
Oh, okay. All right.
You know what I'm saying? So I just realized that I know so many people for so long, and I feel like I've had so many lives, that it's time for me to put my feet on the ground and give the people more of who I really am.
Yep.
Before it's over.
Now, we're gonna take a short break, but before that, we're gonna show your video.
Word.
You're Not Alone. Like we already talked about it now, but who helped produce that?
Chris Hunter, Collective Thought Media out of Newport, Rhode Island. One of the, I think, the best videographer in the region. So yeah, the brother helped me out. I secured a location. He and I did the treatment, and I'll say he was a little bit skeptical, as most people were. But I'm glad that we worked together. I think the video came out beautifully. Again, it's called You're Not Alone. It's available on all major media platforms.
That's right.
YouTube video as well. So I encourage anybody, check it out if you enjoy it, see it. I also, at some point, encourage people to use it for treatment. Another reason why I did it that way is because I wanted parents to see, parents that are suffering with their kids being in addiction, that don't know what it's like.
Right.
I feel like this video can give you a picture of what it might be like for somebody in the trenches of an addiction. So you have a clear picture of what it's like. And I've actually had some parents come up to me and say, thank you. Like, now I get it.
Right.
You know what I mean? But yeah.
All right. And before we go on a break, I also wanted to know what was the next single.
The next single is called Regular Joe. Technically, it's out right now. The video is still in limbo. We're still trying to finish up shooting the video, but that is also on all major music platforms. Regular Joe. And I should also say, You're Not Alone is produced by AD Beats, one of my favorite producers. Period.
Nice.
Peace to AD. Word.
All right, so we're gonna take a quick break, and we come back. We're gonna have a performance from my man Demi Siron. What song you're performing today?
It's called The Final Pitch.
The Final Pitch.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll take a quick break. We'll come back. My man's gonna bless the mic, and we'll get right into that.
Yes, sir.
When it began, it was adventurous. I never meant to push the outer limits of emptiness. Excursions turned to impulsive urges to be where the birds is. Thirsty and nervous, but still not afraid to take rams to the face in the black half of the day. Till the sun would come running right back out to play. It was me against the voices, peeping out the curtains, geeking, not in the mood to be amused by any person. The dark hours, alcohol and cigarettes, lost on a long hard road of introspect. Strange contemplation, stress, how much is left? These heart murmurs got me questioning my intellect. The quest for the original stimulation I used to get. Physical unrest is a residual side effect. Sometimes I go so distant, I disconnect. I didn't think I was addicted, I was different. Didn't want to smoke or inject it, I was sniffing it. Had a love and hate relationship with a stimulant. Something about the way she made me paranoid was interesting. Plus she's always whispering, Daddy, can we take another sniff again? Fidgeting, feeling like somebody's always coming. And when you going hard, it calls erectile dysfunction. Caught up in the chase and maybe running from your demons. If you falling downhill, you probably need to stop skiing.
Money makes the world go round for some people, just not me though. I got my own road to travel, and I've come too far to turn around now. Some things you gotta just let go before they take over your soul. I know sometimes it just feels so impossible. You need to know you're not alone now. No, you need to know you're not alone now. No, you need to know you're not alone now. No, you need to know you're not alone now. No, you need to know you're not alone now.
I remember snotty noses, small talk and large boulders. Sinus infections a result of long binges. Bad decisions, mad shady business dealings. Secret stashes hidden in the drop ceilings. Late night, playing a slave to desperation. Wasted, suffering from sleep deprivation. Lacing every blunt but never called it freebasing. Chasing escapism is the lonely destination. Pacing back and forth, I'm checking all the door locks. Lack of inhibitions, I'm confessing all my sore spots. Think my heart can stop, why am I chopping up more rocks? Should I save the rest? Yes, but did I? Of course not, there's overdose potential and cardiac arrest considerations. But they were never stronger than my cravings. The ride is borderline exhilarating. When you're gasping for air, every breath is precious respiration. I never met a girl that tried and didn't like it. I never liked the pipe, the high was kind of frightening. Life is valuable, some might even say it's priceless. So why did I decide to provide for my vices? I'm surprised that I survived through the crisis. I tried to describe, but there's just nothing like it. My advice is, be very careful with your vice grips, cause I've seen many men infected by the white virus.
Money makes the world go round for some people, just not me though. I got my own road to travel, and I've come too far to turn around now. Some things you gotta just let go before they take over your soul. I know sometimes it just feels so impossible. You need to know you're not alone now. No, you need to know you're not alone now. No, you need to know you're not alone now. No, you need to know you're not alone now. No, you need to know you're not alone now. No.
Demi Siron, Eric B Media, D-NAPP, what up? Mike V, what up? Listen,
I move with the emotional tones of a whole opera. Smoother than beluga caviar and cold vodka. The banaka that I blow. Throw a chill over your posture like watching a million children sing a Sicilian sonata. I made a promise. My team expected my deposits. But the mirages people offering make me awfully nauseous. So against the odds, for every single starving artist trying to reap the harvest in a gardens full of garbage. Let's be honest, that's not a place for sacred prophets. Probably safe to say we should create a new department with fire starters and fortify the art of arson and highest honors for those that overstand the doctrine, but I'm comfortably different. At least I like to think so. Y'all basic chicken noodle, I'm like ginger root miso. The lyric is my instrument. I've been known to dabble in grabbing the inspiration from the basement of my abdomen. The last Paul Robeson used to love drugs, but I'm over them. Now I'm motoring through motions looking for another opening. Focused in for the most of it. The rest is so beneath my feet that I can barely notice it. I keep progressing because depression is prevalent, and detecting its presence is the mark of intelligence. Doing my best to dodge the negative elephants. Never hesitate to question when I'm smelling the elephants in the area. Some superior, some inferior. Some of us cannot be measured from within those barriers. Some of us don't fit the criteria. Some of us have antiseptic nature, some just spreading bacteria. I am the reflection of a convex mirror, when insight's projecting for people to see clearer. I suspect most of it get lost in translation, so I hope what connects provokes thoughts and conversation. I came out of hibernation to witness the games break up. Of course I'm still getting it, only the names change up. When I hit the mound, they all saying he got great stuff. He make a few mistakes, but you might never get a base touch. You want an A? I want an A+. I don't ever pay to play and I ain't asking for no favors. You want flavor? Then my flavor's outrageous. I know I took my time, please. Pardon the lateness, I've been busy trying to exceed your expectations. My products should probably be some of your all-time favorites. The purveyors that you purchase from prioritize the package. But when you get a taste of it, you realize that it's average. Look, I understand the calculation of risk. The marketing is a machine that only eats percentages, but if building a legacy is part of your long-term plan, you need integrity and character to carry your brand. And you can do business with hacks and posers, but I'll stick out like a blue whale, splashing with goldfish. One of the best candidates that are alive and confident. This presentation was a pleasant surprise, and my opponents, all they care about is showbiz. Fancy cars, clothes, and jewelry, that's not my focus. I know above the clouds it's much clearer than the coast is. So I don't play no more, I'm preparing with the coaches. At game time, I hang glide and take play calls from a place where only the greats fly. I left hate standing in the sidelines and never been a fan of standard guidelines. My skill sets are a rare commodity. Vision is 2020 with a flair for quality. I'm obviously not afraid to push the limits. Thanks for tuning in, but it's over. I'm finished. Demir Siron, Dirty Dirty's a squad. Blue Collar's a squad. Evans Vinyl Collection, peace. Beatnik on production. The album. Called Elevated Pitches. Look for it, y'all. I love you. Thank you. Peace.
All right, there you go. That was my man, Demir Siron. Look out for the album dropping very soon.
Elevated Pitches.
That's right. And also go check out the video. You're not alone. Look out for Average Joe. Regular Joe. My bad. Look out for Regular Joe. That's about that. That's episode
22. Thanks to our guest Dirty Ice came through, represented, hold down for Blue Collar. Shout out to Blue Collar. Shout out to Dirty Dirty. Shout out to New Bedford, Fall River. This has been the D-NAPP Mixtape Show.
I've been your host, DJ D-NAPP.
I'm your co-host, Mike V.
All right, we see you guys next week.
All right, peace.